actually how I met Ilona was through a mastermind that she and I attended with Melanie. Melanie's been my mentor for about 3.5 years now. I met her in June of 2020. I was referred to her by a friend. And Melanie has a program, her cornerstone program, that's called Femme Fatale. And I'm doing it for the third time. Priyanka's in with me. Ilona, are you in the class with us this round? So Femme Fatale is Melanie's cornerstone program because it is all about empowering the divine feminine within you. And we have grown up in a world where we haven't always necessarily, hi Beverly, welcome, where we haven't necessarily always been honored for our divine feminine. So we're in the middle of this class, and the very, very first event that she has, you go into this beautiful guided meditation and you meet with your goddess. So all of us have guides that have been given to us, whether you call them your higher selves, whether you call them ascended masters. Everyone has a goddess or more than one that have been assigned to you for this journey. Understand that we are all spiritual beings who are having a physical journey. And this aspect of our physical journey is as a human on planet Earth. Imagine that there's a tree, and a tree has limbs, and limbs have branches, and branches have leaves. And imagine that each incarnation is like a leaf on a tree. Okay. So there's a goddess that's assigned to you. And we are asked to go on a journey to meet the goddess and ask the goddess to come back with us. And the first time I did this class in 2021, my goddess wouldn't come back for me. She said, "You're not ready for me." I was devastated. I was like, "What?" She said, "You're not ready for me." She's like, "Come back another time." Her name is Hathor. She's the Egyptian goddess of women. And I've got statues all over the place for her. She and I have since, spoken a lot. But one of the things that happened is Melanie said, some of you were able to see your goddess, some of you were able to feel your goddess, some of you were able to hear your goddess, and some of you aren't. And the reason you are or you are not is because your clairs may not be open. And I'm jumping out of my seat because I teach people what the clairs are, how to measure them, how to open them, how to enhance them, how to expand them. Clairs are basically gifts that were given to us by source to navigate this human existence. Does that make sense to everybody? Raise your hand if that makes sense to you, right? There are many, many clairs, but the four that I focus upon, hi, Austin, welcome. The four clairs that I focus upon are clairvoyance, which is your ability to see spirit beyond the physical eyes; clairaudience, which is your ability to hear spirit beyond the physical ears; your clairsentience, which is your ability to feel spirit beyond the physical touch, like you feel the temperature in the room, you can just tell that there's somebody there. And then there's claircognizance, which is you just know information that comes from spirit. So if you think you have clairvoyance, this means that you're able to see things that other people can't see. You may see it out of the corner of your eye. You may see it physically manifest in front of you. Please raise your hand if you've had an experience with clairvoyance. Being able to see something from spirit. Yeah. Okay. Please raise your hand if you've had an experience with clairaudience, where there's a message that comes to you that you can hear and there's not a person in the room. Anybody have clairaudience? Okay. How about clairsentience, where you can feel like the temperature change in the room? You can tell that there's someone or something there. Raise your hand. Suddenly you get goosebumps. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Precious. Jennifer is another Matrix sister that I did the Matrix with a couple times in Melanie's world. And then claircognizance is when you just know information from spirit, like it just comes like a download, and you haven't read it in a book, you haven't been taught it, no one ever said it to you, but you just know this information. So for me, in 2009, I take a trip to Israel, and we go to a graveyard. It's called the Mount of Olives. It's across from the city of David. And I'm about 50 pounds heavier than I am now, and I'm not a small woman. So it was July. It was hot. It was like desert hot. I'm dressed in clothing because you got to be covered, and I'm sweating balls. It was not one of my most pleasant experiences. And I waddle my way, and you can't step on the grave, so I'm like waddling my way between these tiny little gravestones. And we go to this gravestone where there's huge blue gravestone, and the color of the gravestone is the color of this post-it note, like blue. And these beings that are buried in these graves are called the Sadiqim. And I lay my hands on the gravestone, and suddenly this golden shaft of light opens up. And sorry, someone's calling me. This golden shaft of light opens up and comes down around me like an episode of Star Trek where they're going to beam you somewhere. And the being in the grave starts talking to me. And I'm thinking, I've never taken acid. I've never taken drugs. This can't be a flashback. Like, what's happening to me? And the being in the grave starts communicating to me telepathically. And he says, welcome home, beloved. Your father is waiting for you. I'm thinking to myself, my father. And he says to me, you know him as Abraham. And I'm thinking, Abraham? Who's Abraham? And he said, well, actually, you know him as Avram. And Avram is a being that has come to me in meditation for many, 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 many years. And he looks like David Strathern, and he's tall and skinny, and he has a beard. And he would take me to this room at the top of a stone pyramid, and he would unroll these ciphers or these big scrolls of light, and light language would come off of them and go into my third eye. And I was like, what? He says, Avram is Abraham the patriarch, and you were one of his daughters. And I'm thinking, I read the Bible. There was no mention of a daughter. He said you were of his the third relationship he had. And I'm thinking, I'm completely crazy. And then all of a sudden there's this vision, and I'm with the Kabbalah Center on this trip, and I see my two Kabbalah teachers. And in this vision, I see my two Kabbalah teachers, and they're standing in front of the throne, and there's a being on the throne. And on one side, there's a bunch of angels. And on the other side, there are these Sadiqim, these religious leaders. And I hear the word decree. And the decree was that my teachers would come back to earth and teach people, the Kabbalistic principles, which came from the Essene community. That's a whole other journey. So I go down the hill to where everybody's moved to the next gravestone. Because all these gravestones, there are these 32 Sadiqim at any time. And their gravestones are marked here in the Mount of Olives. And I go to my teacher and I'm crying. And he's like, why are you crying? And I said, I just had the craziest thing happen. So when I came back from Israel, I was visiting with a girlfriend, and all of a sudden I go, there's someone here. So my clairsentience is tingling. And then this man starts talking to me. And I'm telling my girlfriend the thing he's saying. And he turns out to be the doctor that she used to work for. And he had died. He went to save his son in the undertow, and his son died. His son didn't die. He saved his son, and he died. So he starts bringing forth information. There's no way I could have known. And she's like, I didn't know you talked to dead people. And I said, neither did I. So now clairsentience is open. Now clairaudience is open. So I go to my sister and I'm like, listen, something happened when I was in Israel. Don't tell mom. She's like, okay. I said, but I suddenly have this ability to talk to the dead. And she goes, my best friend Jill just lost her dad, and I'm sure that she would love to talk to him. So Jill calls me and she said, can you please try and get a message from my dad? And he said, tell her I love her, tell her I love her mom. And then he starts showing me images of giraffes, like so many giraffes, wooden giraffes, glass giraffes, pictures of giraffes. And so this clairvoyance. And I said, he's showing me giraffes. And she goes, there aren't any giraffes. So she goes back to my sister and she said, your sister's crap at this. Like, she was talking about giraffes and, Then she goes to her mom. Jill goes to her mom and said, supposedly Pam's sister Lynn is able to talk to the dead, and I asked to talk to dad, and all of a sudden dad's talking about giraffes, and the mom goes, oh, that's because your father and I have a collection of 50 giraffes. So she goes back to her sister and she goes, your sister might actually be onto something. So I'm like, oh my God. So clairsentience, clairvoyance, clairaudience. Then one time back in 2017, I go to this event where this man is going to be teaching sacred geometry. His name is Charlie Tedesco. And I look at Charlie and I see a golden Egyptian crown on his head, and I blink and then the crown's gone. And I'm like, what was that? Clairvoyance. So Charlie talks about how when his best friend died, he went to, not his best friend, when his best friend's father was about to die, he went to the father's hospital room to do a blessing for him. And he blesses him and he says, may his soul receive the highest elevation possible, given his good works this lifetime. And the father passes away. And about 4 months later, the sister of the best friend goes to see a medium. And the medium says, your father's here. And your father says, please thank your brother for the priest that he brought to the hospital room. And so she calls her brother and she goes, what priest did you bring to the hospital? He goes, I didn't bring a priest, I brought Charlie. So he calls Charlie and goes, why is my father saying you're a priest? And Charlie says, because I am a priest in the order of Melchizedek. And I hear this and my jaw hits the floor because I'm suddenly hit with claircognizance. And what I'm told is Jesus was ordained in the order of Melchizedek. One of Jesus's previous incarnation was as Melchizedek. Melchizedek was who told Avram and Sarai that they will be Abraham, the leader of 3 nations, and Sarah, and she will have a child, and she was 90. My Melchizedek certificate's on the wall. So I go up to Charlie, and that every priest that's ordained, every Christian priest is ordained into the order of Melchizedek, but they don't know why. And all of a sudden I'm like, Jesus was ordained in the order of Melchizedek. And I said, why? Because I talk to Jesus, one of the things I do. And he says, because I was of the bloodline of David. Anyway, so I go up to Charlie at the break and I'm like, this just happened. So it was like claircognizance. It was information coming in. So I found out who the man who was doing the ordinations. He's ordained like 17,000 priests in 35 years. And I drove up 6 hours in the snow to go get ordained by him. So I'm ordained. My reverend title is ordained in the order of Melchizedek. And I'll talk a little bit about that later because he's going to be, there's going to be a couple opportunities for any of you who would ever feel inclined or drawn. Like I was drawn to it like a moth to a flame, like a magnet. Like I just knew I had to be ordained. It was just in my soul. So that's clairsentience, clairaudience, clairvoyance, claircognizance. They're going to show you pictures from the other side for verification. They're going to tell you things. Aw, we've got 33 people here. What a beautiful number. Hi, everybody who's joined. I didn't get a chance to say hi to you earlier. Welcome. Hi, Jocelyn. Thanks for coming on camera. Hi, Linda. Hi, Fu.
Hi.
Welcome. Hi, Kim. Thank you all so much for being here. So then what I'm told is that there is a way to measure these abilities and there is a way to open and enhance them. So I'm going to ask each of you to take a piece of paper and a pen, and I'm going to walk you through a process of how we measure the clairs. And then Priyanka's going to pick one of you, and we're going to walk through how to increase or enhance or open up those numbers. So I want you all to write down CA, which stands for clairaudience. And that's the ability to receive messages from spirit. And sometimes you hear outside of your head and sometimes you'll hear inside of your head. So that's clairaudience. Then I want you to write down clairvoyance, CV. Clairvoyance is your ability to receive images from spirit that aren't like physically in front of you, like the giraffes. Then I want you to write down CS for clairsentience, and that's the ability to feel messages from spirit. Then I want you to write down CC, and that's claircognizance. That's where you just know, you get a download of information. You didn't read it in a book, you were never taught it, you never heard it. It just comes to you from spirit. Okay? So when we are born, has anybody ever heard this, that when you're born into a theta mind frequency? And somewhere between 5 and 7 years old, we move into a beta frequency. Has anybody ever heard of that? Raise your hand. Okay. So theta is when you're in a state of hypnosis. So when we're born, we're in a state of hypnosis, which means we're receiving, we're imprinting the brain, we're mapping the mind. This is why children, by about the age of 5, they become fixed, between 5 and 7, fixed to who they're going to be in life. Could you please repeat? I had to. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so could you please elaborate more on why every Christian priest is ordained? Yes, Crystal. Every Christian priest is ordained into the order of Melchizedek because Jesus was, because he was the bloodline of David and not of the bloodline of Aaron. There's a whole history that goes with this. There's so many amazing books on the Order of Melchizedek. And if you guys ever want to do a deep dive into that, it's extraordinary. Reverend Dan, the man who does these ordinations, yes, a recording is going to be sent out to everybody after this. And don't worry about being late. You come when you come. It's all God's time. That's what I consider it to be. So it's CA for clairaudience, CV for clairvoyance, CS for clairsentience, and CC for claircognizance. So I'm going to have us do a little breathing so that we can move us out of the beta mind, which is what happens is by the time we become somewhere between 5 and 7 years old, our frequency of our brain has shifted from theta into beta. So it's as if we've shifted from the right brain frequency where we're creative and open and loving and laugh at everything. And we've moved over to the left hemisphere. You know how our brains have a barrier? We've shifted frequencies and now we're taught reading, writing, and arithmetic, and these are the rules you should follow, and you shouldn't cry, and and stop making all that noise, and children should be seen and not heard. All those beliefs and precepts that we were given when we were young that kind of began to close us down. Any of you feel like you had a free spirit that over a lifetime has kind of gotten squelched and shut down and closed down? Exactly. Okay, so oh, Val, I love that you're here. My sweet sparkles. This is so sweet when my friends show up. All right, I want to introduce you to one more person. Austin, are you available to come on camera really quickly? Hi, Lucretia, welcome. Hi, Val. Hi, Austin. So Austin is the one in the car with the beard driving. Austin is a dear friend who was introduced to me recently. And Austin has this phenomenal ability. He carries the presence of what I call the I am presence. And what he does is he just exudes this incredible amount of love. He'll be on the journey of some of the classes that I'm going to be teaching and some of the retreats that I'm going to be leading around the world with him. Once you clear and open your clairs, you then move on to the chakra system and you learn to open and balance your chakras. Once your clairs and your chakras are clear, you can begin the journey of the Akashic records. And in the Akashic records, it's literally the owner's manual. Has anybody ever wanted to know their life purpose? Raise your hand. Has anybody ever wanted to understand what the F, like, why do these things keep happening? Why do I always seem to date the same man, have the same job, have the same fights, obsessively think the same thoughts? I know, raise both hands and feet. All those answers are in your Akashic records. The Akashic records are basically the spiritual iCloud of every thought you've ever had, every word you've ever spoken, every action you've ever taken, all the senses, what you smelled, what you've tasted, what you've felt, what you've seen, like all of it's there as a physical human being. And when you come into each lifetime, you sit down basically with your higher self or your goddess or your guides or your gods or your messengers or whoever they are, your angels, and you say, okay, I need to handle this. I need to handle this. I've never handled that. I need to make up for this karma. And you make a list of all these promises of what it is you're going to do in a particular lifetime. Then everybody goes to the river of forgetfulness and we go, look, 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 look. And we completely get blanked out and we don't remember. And our life's journey is to remember why we're here, what our purpose is. Now, the cheat book for that is the Akashic Records. Everything you need to know is in there. However, you have to have the courage to be willing to go in, open those gifts that you've closed down for many lifetimes. I have this one girlfriend, extraordinary shaman, and all of her clairs were open except for her clairvoyance. She couldn't see. So we went in and we did a healing session with her. I call this the Akashic healing. And we went into her past life where she was a medicine woman for an Indian tribe, but she had lived so long that it was now like 3 generations from when she was born. So the younger members of the tribe just, oh, old lady, you don't know what you're talking about. And she's like, listen, we're going to be attacked. The marauders are coming on this date at this time. No one believed her. So the day she knows they're coming, she goes to a cave to protect herself. She comes back and her village, her community, her tribe is like on fire and dead. And one very, very angry person comes to her and said, you did this. You didn't see it. You created it. And they took 2 pieces of hot wood from the fires that were burning like red embers, like coals, and they put them on her eyes to burn her eyes out so she could never see or have visions again. And then they left her for dead. That was when she made the decision, I'm never going to use my gift of clairvoyance again. I mean, that may not have been what she called it, but that's basically what happened. We healed that, and she's got it fully open now. That's available to you. But I'll tell you what, it takes courage to make this journey. How many of you would be nervous about doing this work, honestly? I still get nervous about doing it. I've been doing this for a long time. My mom handed me a copy of The Sleeping Prophet about Edgar Cayce. And I read it when I was 11 years old. Oh my God. I was so excited about this book because it talked about, had any of you ever heard of Edgar Cayce? Edgar Cayce has a retreat center in Virginia. It's called the ARE, and it's for research and enlightenment. And I spent a year living in Virginia when I wrote a book where I was channeling Mary Magdalene every day. And I would go to Edgar Cayce Center. To me, it was like spiritual Disneyland. It's the largest spiritual library, second largest spiritual library, the first largest spiritual library. Anybody know where the first largest spiritual library is? Anybody? The Vatican. So Edgar Cayce would go into trance, and he would go into people's Akashic records. And you go in with permission. Now, everybody's granted permission to go into their own, but if you're going to go into somebody else's, you want to get permission. Otherwise, you get kicked out. No bueno. And there are restricted sections. There are sections that you're not quite ready to receive the information yet, but it'll come over time. The more that you're willing to do your work. So if you're willing to take this journey, and it's a deep and powerful journey, it's a journey of a lifetime. It's worth everything. And there's a few people here that have taken this journey with me. Now, I want to introduce you to Priyanka. So Priyanka is my chief operating officer. Priyanka has been with me for 3.5 years, round about the time that I met Melanie and stepped into her world of online coaching. And Priyanka came to one of the very first classes. And what was clearly evident is that she's very psychic. Now, if you ask her if she's psychic, what's your answer? No, but she's lying, and it's okay. Sometimes you don't want to remember that you're psychic. Sometimes it's a little scary. Sometimes you don't. Does anybody have things like they just don't want to know? Like, do you really want to see your dead grandmother or grandfather in the room with you? Sometimes the answer is no. But if you're willing to take that journey, this is the journey of clearing the clairs. So, does everybody have a piece of paper? CA, CV, CS, and CC. Clairvoyance is the ability to see beyond your physical eyes messages from spirit. Clairaudience is your ability to hear messages from spirit beyond your physical ears. CS, clairsentience, is your ability to feel spirit, the goosebumps, the hair standing on end, the temperature change, or they show up as orbs, or they show up as spirits in front of you. You can feel them. I had a girlfriend here for a psychic workshop one time. She goes, "Who's that guy at the top of the stairs?" And I go, "Oh, that's my stepfather. He passed away." I'm like, "He's the protector of the house." She's like, "Oh, he's like the guardian." I said, "Yes, he is." And then there's claircognizance, CC. Clair in French means clear. So I'm going to take you guys on a little breathing journey where we're going to take you from beta into theta. We're just going to do some breathing to let you come out of the receptive, active kind of left brain. Is everybody willing to take that journey? And if you're not, you don't have to. But here's what we're going to do. Hi, Denise. Thank you for coming on camera. Hi, Mel. Hi, Terry. My sweet girl. Right. Hi, Jennifer. Audrey. Hi, Audrey. Thank you all so much for being here. Hey, Jocelyn. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Did I get everybody? And welcome to everybody else who's here. My screen only goes 25 people, but it looks like we got 36. Valerie, it's so good to see you, baby. Love you. Okay, so I would ask you all to, for a moment, put everything out of your hands, out of your lap, and just allow your eyes to close. We're going to take 9 breaths. With the first breath, I ask you to breathe in through your nose very gently, very easily. Let the breath come in, let it move through the body. And then as you exhale through the mouth, just start to let your consciousness drift from your mind down towards your heart. Let yourself become aware of where you are, become present to where you are. Feel the temperature, hear the noises, notice where your body is touching and where it's not. Take another longer, slower inhale in through the nose. Let it fill you up from the top of the head to the bottom of the feet. And then as you exhale and release through the mouth, continue to drop your attention towards the heart. Beautiful. Take another 100% attention on your breath. Inhale in, breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. And then as you exhale and release through the mouth, again, continue to drop your attention towards your heart. Next, I want you to imagine breathing in white light. This is life force. This is prana. Breathe that white light in, let it circulate throughout the body. And then as you exhale through the mouth, I want you to exhale any darkness. Let go of any cares, concerns, worries, fears, anything. Just let it all go through the breath. The breath is so incredibly healing. Take another beautiful inhale in of white light. Feel the coolness of the light as it comes through the nose. Let it move all the way from the crown, all the way through the body, down to the feet. And then as you exhale and release through the mouth, exhale any darkness. Just let it all go. Beautiful. Take one more gorgeous inhale in of that white light, life force. You may feel some tingling in the fingers and the toes as you begin to activate the light body within the physical body. And then exhale and release any darkness, drifting further and further down into the heart. Next, I want you to imagine breathing in golden light, God's golden light. And you feel that golden light come in, and it actually really begins to activate the light body that usually remains dormant within the physical body. And as you exhale that same golden light. And again, you may feel tingling. It's okay. You're just turning on the light switch and drift further towards the heart. Take another inhale in through the nose of that gorgeous golden light. Breathe it in, breathe it in, breathe it in. And then exhale and release that same golden light. And then one more beautiful inhale in of this gorgeous golden light. Let it circulate. And then exhale and release. Bring your attention to your heart. Just allow yourself to be. And go ahead and open your eyes. I want you to write down the first response that comes to you when I ask you the following questions. Take your pen in hand. On a scale of 0 to 100, at what level is your clairaudience? Just write it down immediately. The number comes right to you. Don't second guess it. Don't change it. Just let it be what it is. Okay. Next question. On a scale of 0 to 100, at what level is your clairvoyance? A number comes to you, accept it, write it down. Don't argue with it. Don't try to change it. Just let it come. This is your guidance communicating with you. This is your higher self, your spiritual team. Take another inhale in, exhale, stay connected to your heart. On a scale of 0 to 100, at what level is your clairsentience? Just let the number come. It's fine if it's 0, it's fine if it's 100. It just means the number is higher. Just let it be what it is. Don't change it. And then finally, take another inhale in, another exhale and release. Come back to your heart. On a scale of 0 to 100, At what level is your claircognizance, your natural knowing from spirit? You just receive it as information and write that number down. Okay, beautiful. Now, when we're going to work with clairvoyance and when we're going to work with clairaudience, we work with the third eye because the pineal and the pituitary glands are in that region. So when people have lower scores, we go in and we work on that area. When you work with clairsentience, you're working with the heart. So if people have a lower clairsentience score, it's a place where they've closed down their heart. So that's where we work. If people have a lower claircognizance, we work with the crown chakra because it just means that you've closed off your ability to receive from spirit. Does that make sense? So here's what I want you to know about the chakras. There are 7 energy centers within the physical body that are known as the 7 chakras. Has everybody heard of the chakras? Okay, most people have. The root chakra is connected to the crown chakra. So when you clear everything that's in the root, the crown flies open. It's literally like the key to open the crown is in the root. The sacral chakra, which is orange in color, it's a couple inches beneath the belly button, is directly correlated to the third eye. When you heal all the issues in the sacral, it literally unlocks full ability in the third eye. When you heal all the issues in the solar plexus, which is kind of nestled inside of the rib cage, the color of that chakra is yellow. It unlocks the throat chakra. When the 3 bottom chakras and the 3 top chakras open, it fully allows the heart to stay open. Have any of you ever had the experience where your heart opens and then it closes down again? And then it may open again and it closes down again. You may have fallen in love and it's open and then you break up and your heart gets broken. You may have had a toy that you love and then it gets broken and your heart gets broken and it closes down. By unlocking the clairs, by opening the chakras, you then fully open your heart. And the way that you access the Akashic records is through the heart. Does that make sense? Everybody get that? So there are 16 of us in a program that I'm teaching with a girlfriend. Her name is Wendy Gale. Wendy's an extraordinary, extraordinary channel. She channels Metatron, Melchizedek, Elijah. She's channeled many others. And she has been a girlfriend of mine for 40 years. She actually taught me to channel. And she and I lead this program together. And there are a few people that are students that are in this program with us. We call it the Pathway of the Initiate. It's a 4-year program. It's the Initiate, and then it's going to be the Apprentice, and then the Adept, and then the Master. So in this program, one of the things that we're doing is we're reading about, I think, like 17 or 97 or 142 books. I don't know. There's a lot of books that are going on. But one of the books that we're reading is called The Right Use of Will. And in this book, God comes and he goes, listen, I gave you guys one job, and you've completely mucked it up. I told you to use your will, which is having and keeping open the first 3 chakras. And he's like, you've closed them down. And instead, you've been doing the ego and you've got your heart closed and you're fighting with each other and you're killing each other. Like, guys, go down and do the work and allow yourself to learn how to use your will properly. And that's done by opening the 3 root chakras. This making sense to everybody? And then from there, you use your heart and you go in to the Akashic records and you have that explanations for, why was I able to sit down at 7 years old and using both hands sit at my girlfriend's piano and start playing Beethoven? Like, where did that come from? Came from past life, where I was a master pianist. Why did I get straight A's in Chinese in high school? Because I had incarnations in China. Like, there's bleed throughs. Do you guys have things? Would you drop in the comments? Let me know. Do you guys have things that you're good at and you don't know why? Like, it's just a thing that you know? Like, how did some white girl from Long Island know Chinese? Like, how's that possible? Anybody have anything like that? Crystal Lynn, if you allow your root chakra to be opened and healed, you will find that you have, like, sometimes Spanish, exactly. Numerology, exactly. having perfect pitch? Audrey, is that perfect pitch? The pitch? Having the pitch, yes. Okay, exactly. So let me just go back really quickly to the thing that Crystalline said. So if your root chakra is closed, the reason your crown may be open is it's trying to overcompensate for the part that's shut down. But what happens is, and you may find with some of these clairs, because we're going to do an exercise. If one of you is willing to have me walk you through the exercise to clear your clairs, would you please raise your hand? Do you know how to raise your hand? There's a little thing, a reaction on the bottom of your thing. Okay. And then Priyanka's going to choose one of you that I'm going to actually do this exercise with. I've known about illness and medication. Exactly. So Ilona, you may be a medical medium, baby. That may be your thing. All right. So Priyanka, from the people who raised their hands, would you please choose one person that I'm going to walk through this process so we can see how this works. So what happens is sometimes you have one clair that's stronger than all the others, but it's making up for the others. And when we do this, because we're going to work with your lowest clair, you may find that the other numbers will move. Some will move up and some will move down because they've been overcompensating. Crystal, does that make sense? Also, if you're raising your hand, I need you to be able to come on camera. So Lily, Ginger, and Crystal, and Alice, would you all be willing to come on camera if Priyanka chooses you? I'm going
It's
to send it over.
Jocelyn.
Jocelyn?
Jocelyn Kelly. Yeah.
Hey, Jocelyn. Okay. So Priyanka, do your magic non-psychic thing you do, please. She's psychic. She just is lying about it. It's okay. She's in hiding. She's like, like when babies covers their eyes and they think no one can see them.
Yes, Jocelyn is unmuted. Yes. Yeah, she can go.
Okay. Is it Jocelyn?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Jocelyn, you ready?
Ready.
Wait, where did you go?
We can't hear you that well. Can you?
Can you hear me?
It's a little
No,
less
I
audio.
I can't hear you.
Don't know.
You sound like you're at a decibel of 1.
Hang on, just a sec. Let me get a.
Okay, just gonna change your microphone. So, does anybody have any questions so far while we're waiting to get to her? This next part is so much fun. Also, regarding the Akashic Records, so many people get certified to read. You mentioned needing to clear the clairs in order to fully access. So what is that? Look, just because people got certified doesn't mean they're good. You know what I'm saying? There's how many different types of doctors, and some doctors are better than others. To access the Akashic Records, you read a prayer. But, I've been doing this work since I was 11 and I'm 62, so 51 years. I learned from Linda Howe, who wrote the book called How to Read the Akashic Records. I learned from her back in 2017. I did a 3-month intense program training with her. I became an advanced Akashic Record practitioner. That's my certification. But the very first time I went into the Akashic Records, they scared the crap out of me. They started screaming, "Halls of Amenti, halls of Amenti, halls of Amenti." I was terrified. I closed the records. I was like, oh my God, what happened? And I reached out to Linda and I'm like, what happened? She said, oh, they were just really excited to see you. I'm like, they scared the crap out of me. She said, go back in and ask them to speak more slowly and, to like calm down. So I went back in and I was like, hello. I was like, I didn't know what was happening. And they said, welcome, beloved. They always call you beloved. At least they call me beloved. I'm like, what's the halls of Amenti? And I had Googled it and it said Thoth the Atlantean. It said the halls of Amenti is where the Akashic records were kept in Atlantis. And I'm like, come on, guys, now we're talking about Atlantis. Next you're gonna tell the aliens are real. Like I was just freaked out. So anyway, they said, you're a guardian. In fact, you are you are one of the keepers of the records. And I'm like, what are the keepers? Keepers of the records, keepers of what? The Akashic record. I'm like, your purpose in life is to give people access to their Akashic records. And I'm like, how am I supposed to do that? And they said, well, you're going to teach people. So, you know, anybody can have a driver's license, but does anyone have someone that they know that's a better driver than another? Like my mother, God bless her. She hit the neighbor's fence. She took out the other neighbor's mailbox. So we took her car away from her. You know, she has a driver's license, but she should not be driving. So what I can tell you is many people get certified to read the records, and people have the ability to read their own records. But if they're reading other people's records without permission, no bueno. And some are just better than others because they have their clairs more open. So do you understand that, Crystal? Does that make sense? By the way, can I hear you now?
Can you hear me better with the
Yes,
headphones?
yes, now I can. Now I can hear
Better?
you. Yes, that's perfect. Thank you, my
Okay.
love, for doing that. Crystal, does that make sense to you? Okay. When I close my eyes and I try to picture anything, I can't. Is there anything I can do to help this? Yes. You can open your clairvoyance, and Val, that's closed down for you based on trauma that you have from a past life. So one of the things that happens with me is the Akashic records are open for me. They have been since I was very young. I didn't know what it was, but that's just the way that it is for me. Austin has every clair, every chakra, and the records wide open for him. If you guys ever have a chance to have an interaction with him, he's quite extraordinary. Are you driving? You are driving right now. Okay. All right. If you ever get to a place where you're stopped, I'd love to introduce everybody. Okay, let's see. So we are working with Jocelyn. All right, my love, I want you to, hold on a second, I need a pen. You know how you have 17 pens on your desk, and then when you need it, they're gone? Like they went to some pen convention? Ran away from home? Okay. Okay, so. All right, where are you? You keep moving on the screen. I don't know. Priyanka, is it possible to pin her so I can see her? Because she just disappeared again. All right, there you are. Okay, so Jocelyn, CA, clairaudience, what was your number?
0,
Okay, clairvoyance,
0,
okay. Clairsentience,
25,
right, and then claircognizance.
10.
So you are shut down, baby. Well, you've come to the right place. The doctor is in the house. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into your third eye. Given that you have zeros for both clairaudience and clairvoyance, oof, there is you got an object in front of your third eye. So we're going to go and we're going to work on it. Let me guide you with this, and just know that nothing's going to get hurt. You're perfectly safe. And we're just going to go in and see what's there. Okay. So I'm going to have you close your eyes. And I want you to actually take a breath into your third eye. And on your exhale, I want you to move back about 2 inches until you come into the center of your head. And there's an enormous cave there that's known as the Cave of Brahman. And in the Cave of Brahman is your third eye. The third eye, we all have this. The third eye is the eye that opens inwards to the truth. The 2 eyes that we have inside of the body open outward to duality. It's the duality of the splitting of the hemispheres of the brain. It's the duality of how we've gone from 12 active DNA strands just down to 2. Okay. So Jocelyn, again, I want you to just give me whatever answers come to you. And because you at least have clairsentience in 25 and claircognizance at 10, you were able to get these numbers. By the way, is there anybody that wasn't able to get any numbers? Okay, thank God. Oh, no numbers for you. All right, Beverly, you're a lost cause. I'm very sorry. I'm just kidding. We'll deal with you next. All right. So Jocelyn, here's what I want you to do. Take a beautiful inhale into your third eye. And as you exhale and release, come back about 2 inches into the center of your head. With your clairsentience, I just want you to feel that you are in the middle of an enormous cave. You have 2 glands, the pineal gland and the pituitary gland, that help you to function with clairvoyance, our audience. There's an energy that is blocking your third eye right now. When I ask you these questions, I want you to engage your other senses, your other clairs, and just give me the first answer that comes to you, okay? What color is that energy that's blocking your third eye?
Gray, black,
Thank you. Okay. What shape is it?
like almost like slime, like it's just no shape.
Right. Okay. And how big is the slime?
As big as me.
Okay. Thank you. My love, I want you to take an inhale in, and on your exhale, I want you to make you 2 times your normal size. So the slime is smaller than you right now. Do you understand? Okay. Beautiful. What temperature is the slime?
Cold, freezing cold.
Okay. Cold, freezing cold. Thank you. How much does the slime weigh?
It's light like a feather. It's
Okay.
almost like a mist.
Thank you. Light like a feather. It's almost mist. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay. Is there any movement or sensation to the mist?
It moves, it moves about, but it doesn't go.
Thank you. Okay. My love, I want you to ask it, what is your purpose? And tell me its response.
To be here. I keep
Thank
getting,
you.
you need to be here.
Is it working in a capacity to protect you?
I don't know.
Ask it. Are you here for protection?
I'm not getting anything from that.
Okay, that's fine. Ask it, was it put here by someone else?
Oh, that feels like yes, but I don't know why it would be yes.
It's okay. We'll get there. Listen, they told me you were going to try and get ahead of things. Just let it be, baby. Just stay here present with me. Okay. I want you to take a breath in, and I actually want you to breathe into the slime and the mist. And I know this seems counterintuitive, like you'd want to push yourself away from it, but I actually want you to imagine diving into it. And I want you to tell me, what are the feelings and emotions that are associated with it? Very first thing that comes.
Mm, not getting anything from that either.
Okay. When you sense the slime, what is the first feeling that you have? Your clairsentience is at 25, so you'll be able to feel this.
No, I have the goosebumps. It feels maybe fear.
Thank you. Okay. My love, I want you to breathe into the fear. The breath, when you bring breath to any feeling or any emotion, understand that all emotions are energy in motion, emotion, and they are literally gifts from God. And we would say, why would feeling fear be a gift from God? Because when you signed up to come to planet Earth, you said, I'll take 1 from column A, 1 from column B, 9 from column C. And included in there was the feeling of fear. But when it comes to us with such speed and such velocity that we stave it off and we go, I don't want to experience that. We stop it. And there's a law in quantum physics that said, what you resist persists. So when you say, I don't want to experience the fear, what do we feel more of? The fear. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So what helps us to feel these feelings is the breath. It's a brilliant system. We can live without water. We can live without food. We can't live without our breath, right? And what produces oxygen for us? Trees. We are literally walking trees on planet Earth. Okay. Take an inhale in, and I want you to breathe into the fear and just allow yourself to feel it.
Oh, my heart's beating fast. Mm.
Okay, got you. I'm right there with you. Take another inhale in, and I want you to breathe into the fear. And the more you breathe into it, the smaller it gets. You got this. Beautiful. Notice it's getting smaller as you're breathing into it. Can you feel that?
Mm-hmm.
Or just take one more breath. Breathe into the fear. Take another inhale in. What other feelings and emotions are trapped inside of you?
Like I don't want to see,
Yes, yes.
but I
Like,
see like a fire.
yes, yes, yes. Tell me about the fire. When was it? Where was it? What
The
happened?
fire, like a campground fire.
Yes.
And it's like, just throw it in the fire. And I feel it all on me. Just throw it in the fire.
Thank you. Okay. Justin, I want you to just give me the first answer that comes to you. When was this? Just give me a year. When was this?
Maybe 1500. I don't know why.
Thank you. Keep breathing, baby. You're okay.
Okay.
Keep breathing. You're okay. I want you to tell me the first answer to this question. Where was it? Just let it come.
Jungle, forest, maybe.
Thank you. Thank you. I want you to take another breath into it. What happened? I want you to move through the incident, telling me what you see, hear, feel, and experience as you go. What happened?
Um, I don't, I just see like I don't see a scene. I just see a fire. I just see the fire.
Just focus on the fire. What happened?
I don't know if I was thrown in the fire. Maybe I was burned at the fire.
Don't, you're back in your mind. Go back
Hmm.
to your heart. I know you don't want to see this, but seeing and experiencing this is going to give you the freedom, okay? So take another inhale in, and with your exhale, bring yourself back to the fire. What happened? Just allow it to come. Go to your heart.
It feels like my home was burnt in a fire.
Yeah. Who was in the house?
Maybe I was,
Take a look again. Who was in the house?
maybe I was in the house, my family.
Okay. You're in your mind. I want you to go back to your heart. Take an inhale into your heart.
Feels like someone burnt or let it, or put fire to the house.
Yes,
Someone did this to my house.
yes, yes. Who was in the house that died in the fire? Are you willing to see this?
I see the flames. I feel like maybe I was in there.
Who
They
else?
succeeded.
Who else was there?
It feels like maybe just me. I mean, I want to say my family, but
It's okay. You got to go back to your heart for that. You're in your head. So I want you to go back to the beginning. The house is on fire. Breathe into your heart. Who else was in the house? You're safe.
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe my dad. Feels like my dad. Feels like a male, a man.
Thank you. What decision did you make as a result of this incident?
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see.
Thank you. Thank you.
Because then I see more fire.
Stay with it. What else? Who else?
Just feels like a shock, like a freeze response. I just see the house burning. I see the campfire. Someone did this to me. There's a male figure somehow. And I don't want to see.
Thank you. Are you willing to see?
I'm willing to see.
Okay. So allow yourself to go back there. Who else burned in the fire?
My
Or
animals, maybe. My animals.
you're in your mind guessing right now. The truth lives in your heart. Can you allow yourself to go back into your heart? The heart never lies. The heart always knows. Anybody else?
My dad, my animals.
Anybody else?
I can't save them.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Thank you. I can't save them. And you don't want to see. One more time. Take a look at the fire. Is there anything else? Any other detail?
It's a field. I see a field. I see a small house. It's just a lit.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm.
Any other decisions you made as a result of this incident?
I can't trust.
Thank you.
I can't trust.
Thank you.
Mm.
Okay. Anything else?
So maybe the slime is the mist is like a barrier, like a
Okay, get out of your head. Stop trying to figure this out. Just let the process go. You're doing great. Okay. The slime is protection
mm.
so that you don't have to feel it.
The slime is like the embers.
Breathe, just breathe. You're okay. Just let yourself feel this. This is why your clairs are at 0. Okay. Any other feelings or emotions trapped inside of the slime?
I want to fix it. I want to like pour water or
Right.
fix.
Okay.
Mm.
All you need to do right now, my love, is just to feel. Okay. Any other feelings or emotions trapped inside of it?
And despair and helplessness and the lack of being able to help this house that's burning down.
Thank you. With people and beings that you love. Thank you. Beautiful. Any other feelings or emotions trapped inside of it?
Rage that someone would do that to me.
Yes, rage. It's powerful. Have you ever heard of the phrase blind rage?
Mm-hmm.
Rage will make us blind. It'll make us not hear things. It'll make us not see things.
Mm.
You're doing great. Okay. Any other feelings or emotions trapped inside?
Just the anger.
Yeah.
Like a coat. It's just
Yeah.
there.
Beautiful. Okay. Any other? Breathe into the mist one more time. Any other feelings or emotions that are trapped inside of it?
Like I miss them. I don't know who they are.
It's okay. Allow yourself to feel that grief. Allow yourself to feel the missing. It's literally what has blocked and closed off the clairaudience and the clairvoyance. It's kept the rest of your abilities small. Does everybody understand what's happening here?
Mm.
We're in a past life trauma where she closed down these gifts and abilities because of the pain that was there. Okay? We're about to transform this. All right. Jocelyn, any other feelings or emotions that are trapped inside?
I don't think so.
My love, I want you to take a beautiful inhale in, and with your exhale, I want you to surround the mist with a field of love. So rather than trying to push it away from you, I want you to embrace it. Like imagine putting God's golden light completely around the mist, the slime, all of it. Just completely surround it with love. Once you have allowed yourself to feel all the emotions that are inside of it, we're going to transform it. We're going to send it back to the creator. Okay? That's okay, Laura. We'll do this again. You're fine. Take a beautiful inhale in and take that mist and that slime, and I want you to move it out of you. You're literally going to move it out of your third eye. It's when you surround it with golden light, it's like spiritual Vaseline. It's literally just going to slide out of you. You're going to move it about 3 feet in front of you so that it's fully out of your body. It's going to be so easy to do. Just glides right out. There you go. Okay, gorgeous. Did it go all the way out?
Yeah.
Now, here's the transformation. Take an inhale in, and on your exhale, turn it white. And as you turn it white, you take all that trapped energy and it just literally releases and it goes right back to God. And God says, thank you, because we've been holding on to this energy that we were only ever meant to feel, not hold on to it, not resist it and cause it to persist. Okay? Can you feel the incredible lightness that comes from that? Now, here's the really fun part. I want you to invite a fairy to lend you her fairy wand. You're going to take the fairy wand and you're literally going to imagine yourself tapping your third eye, and it releases fairy dust. And it goes in and it cleanses and clears where that mist and where that slime had lived. Okay? Gorgeous. All right. Now open your eyes and get your pen. You good? Okay. You ready? On a scale of 0 to 100, at what level is your clairaudience? Just take the first number that comes to you. I know, just write it down. It's okay. On a scale of 0 to 100, at what level is your clairvoyance? Accept it and just write it down. I know it moves you to tears, right? It's okay, baby. You're fine. This is gorgeous. On a scale of 0 to 100, at what level is your clairsentience? Just write it down. On a scale of 0 to 100, at what level is your claircognizance? Okay. Would you read us your new numbers?
So it was 0 and then 50 clairaudience,
Beautiful.
0 clairvoyance, 75,
Beautiful.
25 clairsentience, 75,
Beautiful.
10 claircognizant, 80.
Gorgeous. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Just allow yourself to breathe. Thank you. Truly, people are saying, celebrating with you. Thank you for being vulnerable. You did a beautiful job. This has moved me beyond tears. Gracias, beautiful.
Mhm.
So thank you for your courage. Thank you for being brave. And thank you for being willing to feel and to open yourself up. Now,
Thank you.
I want you to drink a shit ton of water. I normally curse, but I've been trying to curse less. But every once in a while it'll slip out. So I want
Oh,
you to drink
it's
a lot of water. I'm a New Yorker. I just love to curse.
mm,
My mother's like, you've got to stop cursing. So you have just shifted tremendous spiritual energy. So I teach a class called Clearing the Clairs. If you guys want to learn how to do this, I'm happy to teach you. I have a class that's coming up. It's a few very simple techniques. It's normally part of a bigger class. It's normally part of a year-long curriculum, but with Melanie, bringing the whole conversation about clairs to the world, I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to tell everybody what I do, and here you are, and here we are. So the class is normally $888, but because you guys are here, if you want to participate, I'm cutting it in half, and it's $444. I will teach you how to measure the clairs. I will teach you the exercise. We used to call it psychic surgery, but people get freaked out about the word psychic, so now we call it energy healing technique. We've dulled it down a little, but it's still powerful as hell, as you've just seen. You learn incident handling, which is how we got the when and where and all that. And basically you can have your clairs back. So if anybody's interested, Priyanka just dropped the link. The coupon is called Clairs, and you can come and participate. And I would love to have you in class. You get handouts mailed to you. All the instructions are there, and you can clearly see the power of this, of what we just did with Jocelyn. So I want to apologize to the people who showed up for the Akashic Records class. That's normally every Friday at 1:30, because you slammed into the Clearing the Clairs class that was before. But yeah, your body is shaking because what's happening is you're recalibrating. You've opened up what's been blocked. So I want you to breathe. I want you to breathe into your heart. Okay. Everybody just take a beautiful breath in. You guys have just witnessed a miracle. That's the miracle of what we do. Oh, Ilana, I'd love to have you. Love to have you, baby. So does anyone have any questions about what we did or how we did it? I think we're going to have to add this once a month. We'll do this class here so people can get a different experience. So Ginger and Beverly, I know that you both reached out and you said you didn't get any numbers. So the miracle that you just witnessed with Jocelyn is what you would need to go through. And there's a couple people here that do this work with people. Terry, will you unmute for a moment? And Linda? So Terry and Linda are two of the extraordinary people that are here that are part of the year-long program, 4-year-long program. When's the Clearing the Clairs class, and is it live? Yes, it's live, and it'll also be recorded. And it is
April 10th.
April 10th. I was going to say that. It's April 10th, which is a Tuesday, and it's after the solar eclipse, which is going to be really important. And then there's another opportunity that is a 12-week mastermind of mastering the clairs. So besides just learning the tool, this is coming and being with me in Austin as we take you guys on this incredible journey where we're going to let you begin to have mastery, fully open your clairs. There's going to be 2 more masterminds that we're going to do later in the year. One is mastering the chakras, and then one is mastering the Akasha. For those of you that want to do the deep 12-week dive with us into not just learning these techniques, but using these techniques and mastering these techniques. And that's going to be really, really intense. People that have done this mastery program are people like Terry and like Linda. And they are both extraordinary. Linda channels the most amazing ascended masters. Terry is part of a group of beings that are, can I out you?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're known as the Kalu, and they were the beings that were from Atlantis that guided the Essenes who prepared for the coming of Jesus, and she's incredible. Penny and her business partner, Penny, are teaching my cornerstone class that is called Quantum Akashic Transformation, in which clearing the clairs is just one of 12 techniques that you lead, and they're going to be teaching that class also in April. So we have a membership. Twice a month I come in and I do channeling and I lead guided meditations. That's like $44 a month. Austin and I are going to be taking people on retreats to the chakra centers around the world. We're starting with a big retreat that's happening in December. So if you want to participate in any way, there's opportunities. If you can't find me, you're not looking hard enough. Like, people literally call me on the phone. They're like, I got your phone off the internet. I'm like, oh, of course you did. Took a bunch of people to Egypt. One girl met her husband there. It's crazy, crazy but true. So if there's any questions that I can answer for any of you, please let me know. We're now going to go into the Akashic Records class. So if any of you want to stick around, you're more than welcome to. And with the Akashic Records, I'm going to talk about my journey with the Akashic Records, and then one person is going to get chosen to have their records read by me. Any questions before we officially complete? And Jocelyn, again, just thank you, my love. Thank you for your vulnerability. Thank you for trusting. Thank you for your courage. That was gorgeous. I have some friends that are saying they tried to get in and they couldn't. Oh well. No questions. So can we stay for the next class? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Not like it happened to me, more like I feel the block. Wait, Katya, something. Why can't I feel I resonate with the journey? Which journey, baby? I missed the first part.
The
Ginger.
clearing that you did with Jocelyn,
Yeah.
like it was her journey, and I felt tapped in a way like it's not me, I'm not in the house, but something resonated.
So then you have the ability, we took a journey through her Akashic Records, and then you have an ability to journey through the Akashic Records. I got to tell you, the records are like, they're like, thank you so much for teaching people. Thank you for I'm not teaching people, I'm reminding people. Like, we were all given, God didn't just say, here, come to earth, good luck. We were given an owner's manual, and we've just closed it down, over time. So if you guys want to learn how to have access to your owner manual, again, you want to clear your clairs, you want to master your chakras, it's all available. I just want to give Austin a quick minute. Austin, is there anything you want to say? I know you're stopped for a moment. I just want you all to get an experience of this man because he's quite extraordinary.
Nothing in specific. Just thank you all for coming, and I can feel all of your beautiful love, and I could feel the emotion coming from most of you, probably all of you, during that whole process, and it was really beautiful. I almost started crying there for a moment. It was really beautiful, and thank you for everything. Thank you for participating.
Yeah, thank you all so much for being here. All right, the links are here. You can go to my website. My website is soulmasteryuniversity.com, and you can find me. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Google, I'm on, I think, where else am I? I don't know. I'm all over the place. I have wonderful staff that works with me, Priyanka, Alicia, and Kat, and Linda. Oh my God, Linda. So check this out. Linda Mackey, she's here. My incarnation when Jesus was alive was as one of his younger sisters. And Linda was our teacher. And she is an extraordinary woman filled with phenomenal wisdom. So Linda, will you just raise your hand so everybody can see you? She is another practitioner. She reads people's records. If you guys want to have a reading, if you guys want to learn how to do any of these techniques and, want some firsthand experience. Oh, and Nina's here too. Oh, Nina. So Nina, Linda, and Terry. Oh my God, Nina will blow your mind with what she knows. By the way, Nina's also a pet medium. So she talks to your pets, whether they're alive or dead. And she's phenomenal at it. And she's also amazing. She's an amazing medium. And she's really, really great with reading the Akashic records. Nina, will you raise your hand, beautiful? So they're all shy. I don't know why they're shy. They're not shy when you get them in person, especially if you get a drink or two down them. They're not shy. None of us are, right? Anyway, I want to thank you all for being here. You're welcome to stay for the next part. We're going to dig in. Can we get a recording of the next class? If you, Lucretia, if you go to the link and you sign up for the class, you'll get a recording of the class. Is that the way that works, Priyanka?
Yes,
So-
yeah.
Priyanka, will you drop the link? So if anybody is just staying, but they want to get a recording of that class,
Okay.
please, you know what I mean? Like register for it and then you automatically like an email on. So, okay. So for those of you that are leaving, I thank you for being here. It is my delight. I'll start doing this once a month. Was this useful? Was this powerful?
Jennifer had a question that while you were taking her through the clearing the clairs, were you able to see the fire as well?
Yes. Yeah, of course. There's some details that Jocelyn isn't quite ready to see yet. And working with her, we would go back in at another time. She handled what she could handle here now in front of a room of 40 people, right? 30, 40 people. But if we were working together, we would go back through a couple more times because there's some details that are still there that are left behind. But yeah, I was right. I was with her. My one time I said to Austin, I'm like, on a scale of 1 to 10, and he's like 10, and I said, I heard 100, and he goes, yeah, I heard 100 too. And I asked him again, and he's like, infinity. Like there are certain people that just they come in open, and he's one of these beings that came in full access to the records, full access to the clairs, and the work that we do together is amazing. The retreat that we're going to do, I'm so looking forward to. If any of you, oh, we have another amazing retreat. It's a healing retreat that's going to happen up in West Hills on the Hudson at the Holy Cross Monastery. That's coming up in May. And if any of you would ever want to be ordained into the Order of Melchizedek, the man who does those ordinations, Reverend Dan, is coming to that retreat. So that's going to be available. I think that's like $999. We're going to be there from Tuesday to Sunday. It's monks, it's Gregorian chanting. It's like you go into silence at 8:30 every night and you don't talk till 8:30 the next morning. And God knows I'm chatty, but I stayed silent. I did. I truly did. Well, mostly. I may have been texting late at night with my friends, but not too late. Anyway, that's going to be another gorgeous retreat. There's going to be activations, going to be ordinations, Reiki ordinations. There's going to be contemplation. It's going to be walking the labyrinth. It's going to be beautiful. But again, all this is on my website. I thank you all for coming here. I thank you for the courage that it took to participate in all of this. Jocelyn especially, thank you for that. That was gorgeous. You okay? Okay, good. Ilona, I love you. I would love to have you in class. How fun would that be? And just thank you. So
She just messaged she already has signed up,
Aw,
which is amazing. So we're so excited for your journey.
little cutie pie. Aw. Thank you, baby. I'm thrilled to have you in class. And for anybody that might want to sign up, we also have a payment plan available if you need that. But would love to have you in class if this is a path you want to go down. This is my life's purpose. This is what I'm here for. This ring is a wedding ring that I put on my right hand about 30 something years ago, because it's my marriage to God, because like he's my main man. I had 17 marriage proposals, 5 engagements, 1 marriage, 1 divorce, and I'm good. I got a 13-year-old fluffy gray cat named Astro. He's around here somewhere. Longest, healthiest relationship I've had with a male. I'm good. My life, this is my life's work. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. Okay, my darling. So I'm going to switch hats. We're going to go from clearing the clairs. We're going to move over to the Akashic Records. Okay.